All right, guys, our guest tonight is former WWE and ECW World Champion Rob Van Dam. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing excellent, man. I'm RVD. What more could you want?
Nothing. We got you. We wanted RVD. We got him, man. Listen,
Sweet.
WWE is coming back to Philadelphia on Sunday, June 22nd for a show at the Wells Fargo Center. As a wrestler who spent plenty of time throwing the fans of Philadelphia with both ECW and WWE, what does it mean to you coming back to the city at this point in your career?
Well, Philly's always one of those cities that I like to return to. You know, it's one of my homes for sure as far as my career goes and my wrestling history. ECW is where I, as they say, cut my teeth, put it together, and that's all about Philadelphia. So I look forward to it. I didn't have to be on this time around. When we discussed which shows we're going to put RVD on, I said I want to do that Philadelphia show for sure. They love me there.
Mike Hart?
Rob,
They love me.
since returning to WWE for your latest stint, you've had the opportunity to work with some of the company's fastest rising stars, specifically lately Cesaro and Bad News Barrett. And as a veteran performer, do you take pride in kind of helping these younger guys get over and reach their fullest potential in the ring and outside the ring?
Yes and no. I definitely don't focus on that. If somebody is willing to take some advice, then I may have some, and that's just in life in general. I don't. A lot of people don't want to hear anything. These guys, everybody in WWE is so good right now. The standard of the caliber of pro wrestler compared to say 10 years ago, night and day difference. I came back to it last year and I was so impressed. Guys now that come up through NXT, a lot of them, maybe most of them, seem to be growing up in the business. And then with only 4 or 5 years experience, they're already like 10, 12-year veterans. I'm more happy that with the caliber rising, I'm more pleased that I can still get in there with my style, with my talent and ability, and still be relevant with the new age of wrestlers coming up, just like I was back then. So, are they getting a rub from wrestling with me? Probably so, but these guys, I don't feel like they need me. Let me put it that way. These guys are going up straight. They got a great future, and they're heading to the top with or without wrestling Rob Van Dam. They're just going to have a few more bruises after wrestling me.
Yeah. Brandon Galvin.
Many fans relate Money in the Bank to being the summer version of the Royal Rumble. And since you've competed in many Money in the Bank and Royal Rumble matches, which do you find more appealing to participate in, and which do you find to be better for the product overall?
Well, the battle royals are usually just among my least favorite matches. Of course, the Royal Rumble that's a very very anticipated and popular pay-per-view, and I'm glad that it is, and it's very important for setting up everything that's going to happen that year with WWE. But for my personal participation, I tend to want to have the spotlight on me more. So single matches have always been where I feel like I thrive more. Tag match, three-way, four-way, then you gotta split some of the fans' attention with some other guys, and it can be totally great. But when you get into a battle royal and there's like 20 or 30 other guys, it's just so different from what your agenda is when it's one-on-one competition. And my preferences are from the perspective of the guy putting the boots on, but really, if it works, it's good. If the fans love it, I love it.
All right, listen, Money in the Bank pay-per-view is scheduled for Sunday, June 29th on WWE Network. As the winner of the 2006 edition of this match, you know firsthand how a victory can change your career. How do you approach this event now that you're a little older and a little wiser?
Well, all the experience that I have goes with not only knowing what it takes, to pull off a match like that, but also experience and knowing myself and knowing what I can do and how far out there my comfort zone is. I love a match like Money in the Bank. I love a hardcore match, and that's what the Money in the Bank ladder matches are. Any ladder match basically is like a hardcore match. Throw the rule book out, open up your imagination, and usually you got to be among the tougher to enjoy a match like that, because you are going to be hit with steel and cement, and there is going to most likely be some blood, no matter how much they try to stop it with the current policies with WWE. You might get busted open. I love that about these matches. I wish they'd bring the hardcore title back. That would make me happy.
Awesome. Mike Chiari.
Rob, you have a long history with Paul Heyman dating back to ECW, and you've once again had an opportunity to work with him during your feud with Cesaro. If a situation were to arise at some point that would allow you to maybe join forces with Heyman again, is that something you might be interested in from a storyline perspective?
Possibly. There'd be a lot of factors to consider, and of course, whenever I'm working with him to any degree, I have to consider the possibility that some writers may be thinking of that idea just like you are. So, I would be open to, considering anything, but I really do enjoy being a fan favorite, someone that gets the positive energy from the fans and all that love, from wrestling fans that are guys my age, young kids, women, whatever. I like that I have that appeal, and I like that love that I get, and that would be something, even within the parameters of entertainment, switching to a bad guy, that is something that those guys have to put up with. There's a lot of negative energy to replace that with. That'd be something, that has value to me. Besides that, of course, I'd love to work with Paul.
BJ?
Yeah, Rob, you just mentioned playing the role of a villain again. Do you think your in-ring style will make it too difficult for fans to turn on you?
I don't know. I actually started as a bad guy in the original ECW back in '96 because I was wrestling Sabu, who all the fans loved and treated like a god. And so the whole pointing my thumbs at myself, that was all done in an arrogant manner to try to draw heat from the crowd. And yeah, they seem to love it. They seem to love my moves. I don't know the answer to whether my style makes it hard for the fans to not appreciate me, but I do think that the traditional hero is something that is old-fashioned, except maybe in certain areas of the country, like in the Deep South. I remember wrestling in Georgia, and as a good guy, to get the audience behind you, you just walk around and you clap your hands, and you get the fans to clap with you, and you smile, and you show your dimples. When I first went up to Philadelphia, I knew right away if I tried that stuff up there, they would boo me right out the door. So that kind of anti-hero or that more adult approach has taken over. The Attitude Era, ECW, everything together has come to make wrestling not so old-fashioned, which I could say was cheesy by today's standards, and it had to evolve. So now, the fans, whether they're heroes or villains, the fans tend to be drawn towards what they find entertaining, which of course is very subjective.
All right, last round of questions here. When you returned to the WWE, there were a lot of reports about your contract with the company. While it appears you won't be going for the major titles right now, you have more free time to explore other ventures outside the ring. Has it been difficult for you trying to adapt to this new style of part-time wrestling, or do you enjoy the solace of getting away from it all?
Yeah, I have never been one of the guys that goes stir crazy at home. I can't even imagine what that's like. So I need the balance. I mean, look, WWE knows I walked away from them in 2006, and I stayed away for like 6 or 7 years. They know that I'm capable of doing that. That's not even a question. The other wrestlers, when they have a few days off, they go nuts. And I remember even when I was injured, when I had my knee surgery and was home for 12 months, although I wasn't just sitting around, I did a lot of conventions and appearances, but I would get phone calls, and some of my friends that were wrestling would be like, Rob, I know you're going crazy, at home, but you'll be back out on the road in no time. And that's when I realized how different they are from me. I love my time at home. I need that balance. That's why I left before, and that's why this schedule is what works perfect for me. So to adjust, I don't have to adjust to the really busy times. We just did I think I did 17 matches in 23 days, something like that, which I just got done my last run. We went over to Europe and then back into, I did NXT in Florida, right into pay-per-view Raw SmackDown. That kind of a grind for me is something that I count the days till that run is over, till I get a break, always have. And some of the other guys, they got nothing waiting at home but an empty apartment anyway. They're younger, they want it, they're still trying to show people what they got. Hey, let them have it. I'm really happy with my position and the way that WWE is treating me right now.
Mike Yart?
Rob, you've faced most of the top stars in the business over the past 2 decades. But who's someone who you either haven't wrestled at all or have maybe only wrestled sparingly that you'd like to work an extended program with at some point in WWE?
Hulk Hogan. Bring Hulk Hogan back. I want to work with him.
That's a good.
I don't know.
Could you get a good match at Hulk Hogan?
You tell me. I don't know. I think I get a good match. I think I get a good match out of anybody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really think about or obsess over those things. When people ask me, hey, have you wrestled this guy or that guy? It's easy for me to say yes or no. But I go where the money is. So any chance I have at being a main event in a pay-per-view, it'd be awesome to be a main event at WrestleMania. That's the top spot all year that any wrestler should want to grab. Is that real important to me? It's more like something that would be really nice. I'm in it for the reality. What's happening right now is really what's happening. I'm cool with that, and I'm looking to be consistent.
PG, final question.
Yeah, Rob, not many fans know about your roles outside the ring as an actor, and one of my personal favorites was when you appeared on City Guys in the late 90s. And with the success of WWE Studios, would you be interested in appearing in a film or even another TV show?
Yeah, totally. I actually have several projects back in LA that are on the table. Some of them are movie projects, some documentaries, some TV shows. And the way that most of that happens is you let out 50 balloons in the air, and maybe some of them will come back down and some won't. I regularly sign letters of interest where people have these ideas of these projects they're going to do and put together. They want me part of them. They make me offers. And, 9 out of 10 times, the projects don't see the light of day. Sometimes they do, and when they do, from my experience, it usually takes a lot of years before it finally comes to fruition. I like to be on the creative end of that also, helping to create the story and producing, stuff like that. So much, in fact, that as much as I like the entertainment business, I hate doing auditions, so I don't do them. And so when you don't do auditions, you're not going to get a lot of parts. That's just the way that it works out there. You go, you show up with a bunch of other meatheads that have the same look or whatever, and you read the lines, and they pick and they hire, they do their casting from there. I personally, I did plenty of auditions, but I'm at a point now where my time is limited. I don't enjoy doing auditions, so now I do parts when they're just handed to me. They have to be either created for me or handed to me. So there's a lot less projects, but I still love to do them. And something right, lands in front of me, definitely. I'm an opportunist, and I'll jump on it.
Awesome. Listen, WWE superstar Rob Van Dam, thank you so much for coming on the show. Please tell the fans where they can support you on Twitter or anywhere else.
The Real RVD, that's me on Twitter and Facebook, and RobVanDam.com to verify. All my social networks are there. So thanks, guys, and see you real soon.
Thank you very much.